Without objection.
Thank you. I yield myself as much time as I may consume. On December 28, 2018, U.S. citizen and Marine Corps veteran Paul Whelan was wrongfully arrested in Moscow and charged with espionage. This is just one of the many examples where an American is used as a political pawn by the Kremlin, where they disguise hostility and human rights abuses as justice. Paul was held in pretrial detention for 19 months, and on June 15, 2020, he was sentenced to 16 years in a Russian labor camp. Paul was never provided with any real evidence of guilt. Defense witnesses were excluded. He was denied a fair trial, including the opportunity to defend himself properly or even communicate with his family. Last month, on May 16th, Paul reached his 1,600-day illegally being held hostage in the Russian Federation for a crime he did not commit. See, Mr. Speaker, Paul is innocent, yet he remains behind bars to this day. Since his illegal incarceration, Paul has not received adequate medical care, and he's been denied regular access to his attorney. He's been designated as, quote, wrongfully detained by the U.S. Department of State. U.S. Ambassador John Sullivan accurately described Paul's wrongful conviction as a, quote, mockery of justice. Make no mistake, there's no such thing as justice in a country that is controlled by despots. This resolution shows that we have not forgotten, and we will not forget Paul, and that we will keep advocating for his immediate release. The U.S. Congress will not sit by as Americans are held hostage by the war criminal in the Kremlin. We will not rest until Paul and every wrongfully detained American is home safely with their families. During consideration of the prior measure, we discussed Russia's wrongful detention of the Wall Street reporter Evan Gershkovich. Another politically motivated imprisonment, I must mention, is Vladimir Kara-Murza, a legal U.S. permanent resident twice poisoned by the Kremlin. He is a relentless advocate for democracy and human rights and was recently sentenced to 25 years in prison for his criticism of Russia's war in Ukraine. Sadly, this is what happens when you contradict the state-run media in a totalitarian state. His reward for pursuing the truth and standing up, exposing Putin's brutality and corruption, was imprisonment. The vengeance of the Kremlin knows no bounds. Putin must stop using Cold War tactics to target innocent Americans as diplomatic pawns. I call for the immediate release of all Americans wrongfully detained abroad. I strongly urge my colleagues to support this resolution so Paul and his family know that the United States Congress stands with them with one voice, Republican and Democrat, chairman and ranking member, and will do everything in our power to make sure that Paul is returned safely to his home and to his family. And with that, I reserve the balance of my time.
Gentleman.